Hey guys, so we have started our 3D printing unit. And if you have been here at all this week, you know that we've been doing Tinkercad. So I'm going to show you what the end product will look like just for our first assignment in Tinkercad. So I had a couple of people turn theirs in today and I printed them out. Here's an example of one. There's somebody else's. And here's another one. And here's this one. Okay, so let's start with first things first. Remember that you need to go to the class logins folder, which is going to be on our landing page. The very first page you see whenever you log into your Schoology class. So you go to the orange folder, class logins, and you're going to click on your class period, and that will take you to Tinkercad. You should log in with Google and your 1000 count number, or if it asks you for your username or your nickname, I'm not really sure what terminology it uses, but it will be your first name, all lowercase, and the last 5 digits of your 1000 count number all put together. So I gave you an example of that in the assignment. Okay, so now let's go to Tinkercad and let's look at Tinkercad. So the first thing you want to do, if this is your first time logging in, is you want to make sure you go to this tab over here. It's the Learn tab. You're going to click there, and you're going to click on See All Starters down here at the bottom in just a second. So you only got 4 showing right here, but there are actually 6. But this is a place where you're going to come back to find other lessons and projects. So I just want you to see that there are 3 places that you can click in order to find things. You've got your starters, which is what we're going to go through in just a second, lessons, and then projects. So let's click on See All Starters, and these are very simple. You're going to walk through these and they will take you maybe a minute or 2. You click on the starter and notice over here on the left hand side, see, I've already done mine, so it's showing that it's done. So I'm going to click reset. Yes, reset my current progress. Okay, so yours should look like this when you start. You've got a scrolling bar here, and notice it's 2 pages. So you're going to read the instructions here, and then when you're finished, you're going to click the next step. Okay, continue to the next step. So basically, it asks you to place the square there. When you're finished, you click Done, and then you click Continue, and it will take you to the next starter. Okay, and you're going to just keep doing that, and I've already done all mine, so it's showing you that they're done before we even get there. You're going to keep walking through each one of these starters, and you can see how many pages there are or how many steps there are. This one has 4. Okay, so you'll do each one of these until you get through all of them, all right? Because there are 6 of them. You need to learn how to resize things and how to align them in order to do this project. When you're through with all the starters, then you're going to click back up here on the Tinkercad dashboard, and you're going to go back to the Learn tab, and then you're going to go to Lessons. That was the middle word that I showed you a second ago. And you're going to click on Luggage Tag. Okay? If you wanted to do ruler, you could do ruler, but just keep in mind you wouldn't be making a ruler. You could follow the same steps, but then just improvise in it. But I'm going to show you Luggage Tag. So if you notice right here, it says in progress and resume. Yours should say start, but you'll have to hold your cursor over that area in order to see the project. So I'm going to, in order for it to say start. So I'm going to click reset project, and it might. Yes, I want to reset the current progress. It's been acting a little weird today. Hopefully this doesn't take very long. Okay, Let's say no. Okay, now let's see, tell me start. Okay, so here we go. It actually did start me over. So in this lesson, you will learn to design a personalized luggage or backpack tag. So you're going to follow through these steps, just like you followed through on the other lessons. And it has 5 steps, okay? When you're finished, you will have dragged the correct letters into this spot, okay? And that's going to give you an idea of how to create one of these, which is what you're going to be creating. Now, if you choose to do something else, that's fine, but just remember the parameters that I asked you to stay within whenever you create it. Your prototype can only be 75 millimeters this way, 75 millimeters this way, can you see? And then 5 millimeters tall, okay? So let's look at that on the screen. So when you're through with this lesson, you're going to go back to Tinkercad, and you're going to click Create New Design, and you will drag something over here, whatever shape you choose. Let's choose the box. And you can click in the corners, and it will show you the depth and the width. So then you can click here and do 75. Click here and do 75. And that makes it 75 by 75. And then you can click here for the depth in the middle and do 5. Okay? All right, now I'm going to move this back here. Now, if you wanted it to be more of a rectangle shape, that's fine. If you bring this in and make it, say, 25, and you then want to make it longer this way, you can, as long as these two numbers don't go over 150, because 75 plus 75 is 150. And what I'm trying to prevent is from the 3D printer just taking way too long to get everybody's printed, because right now I've printed about 6 in each class, and it takes about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how big each person's thing is, to print something that is approximately 75 millimeters wide and 75 millimeters deep and 5 millimeters tall. Okay, so here's my little tag. You're going to need to add like a hook or some kind of hole or something in order to be able to attach it either to your lanyard or your backpack or your luggage. So my suggestion is to go over here in basic shapes and either choose the tube, or there's also a torus, which is right here. I'm going to use the torus, and I'm going to attach it right there. Now, the way you align is you select both items. The way you select both items, and you should know this because you've done the starters, you're going to click and drag, and that little red box goes around both things, or part of both things, and it selects both things, and you can see because they both have that blue highlighted line around it. Then you're going to click the group icon right up here, or you could do Control G. Then you're going to click Align. Oops, I didn't do Align. Oh, I wonder why it isn't showing Align. That's odd. Oh, because I grouped them. I shouldn't have grouped them. I'm sorry. I just needed to select them, so I just undid that by clicking the back button. Okay, so let's see if they're separate now. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to select them both again by clicking over here and then just making a square to where both of them enter that square. Now they're together. Now I hit Align right here. And if you click on the middle, then it's going to align this torus in the middle, okay? And you don't have to worry about trying to scroll over here and look at it from the side and see if it's lined up. You just group them together. So let me ungroup them again, and I'll show you again. So this one, oh no, they're together. To ungroup, you can do Control-Shift-G. Now they're apart again because they're only one color. They're two colors now. So to group them together, click outside both of them somewhere on the plane. Click and hold, and then drag this square until both pieces are partially in the square, and let go. Now they're grouped together. Now you click the Align button, and it's already aligned in the center, but say I wanted it aligned with this left or this top side over here, I would click that and it would line it up right there. Same thing here, but I want it in the middle, so I'm going to click there. Okay, now you want to group it together because you don't want it moving off somewhere else. So we're going to, when you're adding things, so we're going to click on the group tool again, and now it becomes one color. Don't worry about it being one color because the printer only prints one color. So you're not going to be able to do multiple colors at all. So right now I have purple in there, so yours will be purple. Then you're going to go over here and choose some basic shapes. I would do text. There's two ways to do text. There's typing it out, and then there's individual letters which you have to place. I would choose text, and then you place it on there on the plane, and then right here you put your cursor there, you backspace, and you type your name. Now notice it's bigger than my square or my rectangle. So now I'm going to size it down a little bit. Well, this should be, it's 126 by 27. So I want it less than where the torus is. So I'm probably going to say, probably going to make this width, let's do 100. And let's make this width 20. Hit enter. Now it puts it, should be the correct size. I'm going to slide it over right there like that. I'm going to look at it from the side. If I want to, well, if I wanted to make it even, I shouldn't have selected the torus and grouped them yet. If I wanted to make it even on the rectangle, then you need to not select the torus and group it with the torus yet. So just do that separate, and then at the very end you can group it all together. So if I'm happy with it, I'm going to group it all together. You can add other things if you want. You can look through here and see there's other shapes that you can do. If you go back down to the basic shapes, you can see there's hearts. There may be another page. No, there's not. But if you go to the next one, text and numbers, there's another page where it's got numbers. And then, what else? Characters, connectors, featured. There's some other cool little things. This text will do wraparound if you wanted to do a ring, say. Okay. I think there's a heart somewhere. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. I know there's a heart somewhere. Maybe it's under basic shapes. There's a star. Oh, there's the heart. So say I wanted to put a heart on here. Shrink it down. Oops. Sometimes it's easier to click off of it to move it and then put it in. And then remember this little triangle at the top is what moves it along the z-axis up and down. So I'm going to do that. And you want to make sure nothing goes through to the bottom of your plane. The way you do that is you make sure here that it's on 0. If you go under, it shows -3. And if you look under, you can see it sticking out under the bottom. And it'll mess up the printing if you do that. So just make sure it's at 0. Okay? So I'm done. I'm going to select everything. You could hit Control A to select everything, or you could again just click outside of all the shapes on the plane and then drag until the square includes all the shapes. And it selects all of them. You can see the blue line around it. And then you go to Group and hit Group. And once it all turns the same color, then you know it's all selected. Then you're going to go right up here to the top left where it's got this weird word, and you're going to name it your name. You could just do your first name and the number 1, okay? And that's going to allow me to know that this is your object when I export it and download it and put it on my computer. I'll show you. See, I've got all these kids, Cannon 1, Matthew Reyna 1, Weston 1, John, he has his design 1. But you want to make sure you name it so I have it. And that's all you have to do. I have access to your files under my classes. So when you get to this point and you group everything together, it saves automatically and you're done. So I'll just come and check I'll check to make sure that you looked at the, you know what you could do? Let me have you, I think I'm going to maybe change this to an assignment. And you can go right over here to, I believe it's share. Somewhere there's a way for you to share. Export maybe. No, it's not under export. Give me just a second. Send to, yeah, picture of your design. You click on send to, and then it's going to download. You click on this download button, and it'll download a picture of your design. And if you notice, it downloaded mine. Well, no, my thing's going to go like that. It's in my downloads right down here. You can't see it, sorry. But it'll download into your downloads folder, and then you'll upload that picture of your design into the Schoology assignment, and that way I'll know you're finished. And then I can download, export it, and print it for you. So again, when you're done, it'll look like this. Now, if you notice, it's got a little, this is called a raft on the bottom, and actually this will peel off. So you can kind of see how thick this person's is. That's about 5 millimeters right there. If the letters stick up a little bit, that's fine. I don't mind if the letters stick up. It's just mainly the base that only needs to be 5 millimeters. If you make it too thin, this is somebody who made theirs too thin. Notice that it's really thin. And so I don't even know if we can get it off the raft. So don't make it any less than 3 millimeters thick, I would say. And then when you're done, again, go over to send to, and then hit this download button, and it will download this picture of your design into the folder, into your downloads folder, and you will upload that into the Schoology assignment. So you'll click on submit assignment, and then you'll click on the little file icon, and then you'll, once that opens, you'll navigate to your downloads folder, and then you'll upload it, okay? And just click submit, and you'll be done. Okay, I think I've taken enough of your time. Have a good evening, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye.